Well, at the moment, as we recall in memory Ralph Sutton, who died at 79 last weekend in the Rocky Mountain areas of Evergreen, we have on the line a man who got to know him. His name is Butch Thompson. He's familiar to many of you listeners, and he travels the world. And his world of music really unites with Ralph Sutton. He's on break at the moment, and I caught him on cell phone somewhere out there in the night.
Nice to talk to you again, Leigh. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are on this night, a gathering of people remembering Ralph Sutton, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
When did you first become acquainted or meet him? Did you just hear him at first on a record?
Yeah. I first heard him live, actually, in Sacramento at the Sacramento Jubilee. And I was trying to remember the exact year. I think it was probably 76, around in there, when he was playing with an all-star group at that giant traditional jazz festival that they have in Sacramento every year on Memorial Day weekend. And Ralph was playing there with Wild Bill Davison and Hud Brown and a number of other all-star musicians. And that's the first time I heard him. And I thought he was terrific, but I didn't actually meet him until he started visiting the Emporium, which I think was just shortly after that. And then I had the experience of sitting on the bandstand and playing with him, as well as listening to his wonderful solo playing. I got a chance to see what it was like to play with a pianist like that, who just made you feel like the world was at your fingertips. To play with a guy like this, it was so easy. It was absolutely like floating on air. And the only problem was I'd be trying to play the clarinet, and I was so busy listening to this great stuff that Ralph was playing behind me that I would kind of get to the point of being finding it hard to concentrate on my own playing. But I mean, he was really and he was a great guy. He was always like one of the guys, one of the Emporium guys. He became really one of the gang. We all got to know him extremely well. He was always happy and worked hard to make everybody sound good. He was not the least bit egotistical about his music at all. It was more like, let's do it together. He was always trying to get somebody to play with him. He really liked playing with other people, and I value every minute of that association.
When you think about his command of the piano and his respect for its tradition, and you have that same sort of gene and absolute connection with the jazz piano.
Yeah.
What, in just a short summary, describes that?
Well, in my opinion, that Ralph was certainly the best stride pianist I ever had a chance to hear live, and that includes a lot of people. And in fact, and to play with, what a complete privilege it was. I think it was the New York Times obituary that quoted Andre Previn as saying Ralph was one of the very few jazz pianists in any style to have complete command of his instrument. And boy, he sure did. He was a genuine virtuoso, as anybody who's heard him knows. If anybody kind of embodied the spirit, if not the letter, of Fats Waller's music, it was Ralph. He was often called a Fats Waller stylist, but he was much more than that. He was his own man, created his own sound on the piano just out of just by being a wonderful musician. He incorporated all that tradition into his playing and made something new out of it. It was fabulous.
Well, how fortunate we were that all of you at the Emporium of Jazz in Mendota, Minnesota, the Hall brothers, Charlie DeVore, Butch Thompson, and that whole group hosted Ralph Sutton. It's good talking with you.
Yeah, same here. If anybody wants to check out a piece of Ralph Sutton memorabilia, they should go out to the Dakota and take a look inside that big piano there, where all the piano players have autographed the piano. I even signed it once myself. There are a number of other famous people who signed it, including the late Dorothy Donegan, who, when she came through there, had recently been awarded an honorary PhD from someplace. So she signed it Dr. Dorothy Donegan, And Ralph came through sometime later, and they asked him to sign the piano. And what do you think he wrote?
I have no idea.
Dr. Ralph Sutton. And there it is for the world to see.
Oh, thanks very much for putting our eye and ear on that.
Okay.
I've been talking with Butch Thompson. He's gathered with a group of musicians, and they're playing a session tonight and remembering Ralph Sutton.
Yeah, thanks, Leigh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Have a wonderful time tonight in memory.
Thank you very much.